throughout the week of the trial, there were a number of people, the House impeachment managers, some people that they brought forward to speak, who I thought did a pretty good job. Representative Raskin got a lot of credit for much of what he said. That said, he was involved eventually in the decision to not have witnesses. Now he is being asked questions about that, and here is what he had to say about what witnesses could have possibly demonstrated and how it could have been turned against them.
We won that vote. We were going to proceed to do it. And then the Republicans stipulated to allow the evidence to come into the record. Now, you ask about some other people who might have gotten up there and lied. We don't know what Kevin McCarthy would have said. I mean, that was her record of what he was telling people. What he told people was that he had called Trump to say, you got to get us out of this. Hell, these people are here. Trump said, it's Antifa. McCarthy said, no, it's not Antifa, Mr. President. It's your people. You got to get us out of here. To which Trump said something like, well, maybe they just care more about the election than you do, i.e., Trump knew exactly what they were doing. He knew that that mob, which he had deployed, was there, occupying people's offices and threatening Congress. So it was there for everybody to see. So we could have had 1,000 witnesses, but that could not have overcome the kinds of silly arguments that people like McConnell and Capito are hanging their hats on. They're trying to have it both ways.
Really fast note, if you're watching this later, I want you to go back and take a look at Chuck Todd's face as he's doing this weird pose. I'm gonna ask you a follow-up. It's really annoying. It's really annoying, and I can't believe he still has a job. But anyway, so you're right, I think, Francesca, that some of them just want to move on and do stuff like the COVID bill, and certainly the Republicans would have dragged this out. And I think that Raskin's right that they would have brought a bunch of nonsense, witnesses on. But like, can we just stop for a second and be like, well, then it kind of sucks that, like, for the first time ever, an outgoing president tried to overturn the result in every way that he could until finally deploying a violent mob, and it just doesn't mean anything. It doesn't lead to anything. A couple of Republicans did turn against it. We'll get to that vote, but like, because we have other things to do, or because the Republicans are like so fundamentally operating in bad faith perpetually, that we just got to move on and ignore the fact that this is like a historic thing that just happened that isn't gonna go away. Those crazies are still out there. They want Trump to come back, and as of right now, he can come back. Ugh. America.
It's, if you think about it, obviously, Raskin has a very good point, which is Kevin McCarthy could have got up and completely lied about any kind of phone call, which he apparently was telling multiple people, and he could have lied. And said, no, I didn't say that. I didn't have a call. No, the president understood, right? What then? I think it was almost stronger that it came from secondhand, because these Republicans are such bald-faced liars, and they're such cowards, and they're afraid of their base. They're afraid of the base that they helped create. That is a problem they have. That's a problem they've sicked on the American people. What happened on January 6th, I do believe, even though I'm cynical about the Senate, it is a fundamentally undemocratic institution. I'm not cynical about how much the 6th tells us about what this country has always been and what we've allowed it to become in the last few decades, with the rise of like extremist, right-wing, white supremacist nationalist organizations, like the ways that we've allowed this to fester. And now we're being faced with it. And with the ways we allowed an authoritarian wannabe dictator to basically not dog whistle, but openly call his goons on everybody. And now we have to deal with it. And it's the Republicans' problem, but it's everyone's problem. It's Democrats' problem as well. And so I don't think this is the end of the accounting for the 6th. I know that there are people who are calling for a full investigation. There needs to be a full investigation. So the problem is like, you don't start by taking down the capo. Like, you can't take down the head of the mafia. You don't take down the Godfather first. You gotta go for the little guys, the guys with the horns, the ladies with the piano scarf, piano key scarves, whatever that thing was. But these are the people you go after, and then you slowly chip away. These fools aren't gonna like indict their own. We know that.
Yeah, I know, and I get what you're saying. Although it feels like, isn't that what we did for years with, Cohen and Manafort and Stone and all of them? Like,
yeah,
a lot of them ended up getting pardoned by the capo because we didn't all go all the way through. Yeah.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.